Okay, so we open this episode with a really nice scene, probably one of the best scenes of this episode, where we have the two Harald brothers singing to each other across from their camps. This episode was quite a nice segue into this little weird holistic time sequence thing they were trying to do, but more importantly it showed us the connection that the two Viking forces have. How there's brothers on each side, there's friends on each side, there's comrades, countrymen, raiders, people who have had so much history because they're one people, one nation, that because of this unrelated civil conflict between brothers have been split into arbitrary groups. So I really built on that connection and that theme, which was the best part of this episode, which isn't saying much because I'm going to spoil this now. This was my least favorite episode of this season. Now, before you hate comment me saying this episode was great, I just hate Vikings, stuff like that, I'm going to tell you two reasons why I didn't really like it. Now, the first is just the personal reason where I didn't like the way they edited this out. It's very clear that Vikings wasn't trying to make this a very literal retelling of the events. They wanted to make it so we went in the heads of one character to the other one and saw the kind of internal emotional effect that this battle had on them. All of the time jumps and the sequence and everything was kind of like the way we see memories in our past, how it's jumbled and intertwined, we jump from this to this and this. The randomly standing still and getting cut down probably wasn't what actually happened on the battlefield, but it was the emotional footprint the battle left on them at the end that really we saw. And if they executed it in a different way, I would have liked it, but just the editing felt wrong for me. Over and over again, I was pulled out of the immersive experience of Vikings and was looking at technical techniques and being confused at what was happening where. It really distracted me from the entire engagement of the episode, and that's why I thought it was done really badly. Now that could have just been me, that's why it's my personal reason. The more important reason was how everything was so anticlimactic and all the amazing development we've had this entire season kind of fell flat on its head on this mid-season finale.
King Mckay, how could you possibly feel that nothing changed? Everything changed. Bjorn's foster son died, Halfdan died, Bjorn's new wife died, so he lost his new friend, his wife, and his son at once. Lagertha's army took a huge blow to the point that they're literally leaving Kattegat now before Ivar shows up. Lagertha was forced to kill Astrid, which led to her hair going grey from the experience, and she's probably in a catatonic, distraught state now, meaning that she might be permanently lost. So how could you say this finale was not a game changer?
All of the character deaths we had was not properly developed, all from a tiny minor character. Bjorn's son, as cool as he could have been, the history that Guthrum's supposed to have, all killed off, right? That's potential sadness, but we've been introduced to him for a very short amount of time, and we know that historically Bjorn hasn't had a great attachment to his children, so we didn't feel much through their Bjorn side either. His wife was crazy and not really developed that well, even though they tried to make her some intimate, weird, interesting character. She had just not enough screen time for us to care about her, and we know not to get too invested in Bjorn female characters. Halfdan death just kind of made a weird mess of sadness and pointlessness. He's someone who has tons of potential, he's a good ally, they haven't fully developed him out yet, but he's clearly got that potential, and they killed him off. And it was for no reason, and it was done really weirdly, and he wasn't really come to any kind of life goal. He's like, I've lived life now. We saw him do little to nothing on the entire Mediterranean trip. He just sat there looking like, oh shit, what is happening now? Did nothing. He did not live a powerful or important life. He was not a great character from what he had done there. He had not done what his arc was pointing towards what he could be doing. The feud he had with his brother was like really weird. His motivations were all out of whack. So you had this character whose arc was heading in this really cool direction that they killed off randomly for a bad motivation, for bad reasoning, and it felt wrong. Like they know how to do brother characters. They've done Rollo really well. They're doing this whole entire conflict between the brothers. And then, of course, there's Astrid. Her entire arc has so much pointing towards a long-term storyline. One, we have the pregnancy, which is a big drama thing we could have down the line. The child saw what was happening. We had those characters that know what was happening. We had a fair, strong female character that was good opposition for Lagertha, and then they kind of just dealt her down, made her weak, crushed her spirits, got her raped, and then just threw her to the dirt, and she's dead. She was a sacrificial lamb for the plot. They clearly wanted to make the theme that this entire civil war was ruining the community, so they had to kill off some characters like, who's not that important? We can cut off Halfman, we can cut off the new wife, she's not really that important, we can kill off the son here, we'll just introduce him and then kill him off. Oh, who else? Astrid, yeah, we can close that story off. We had a few threads there, but we'll just call them red herrings and we're done with the day. All of the arcs and really cool things that they could have done to close out this entire area did not happen. Like, they could have killed Astrid in a better way. They could have killed Halfman in a better way, but they didn't. So when I say this episode was anticlimactic and things didn't happen, it was because the things that were promised to happen, the things that we saw predicted coming, the arcs that we saw of the characters happening, they didn't conclude. We didn't get closure anywhere, we just got random death. Hey, I'm a Game of Thrones fan, so I like myself some random death, but it always has a point. But this is very controversial, and I love hearing you guys' awesome explanations. I don't actually hate this guy. I've read that comment. He's clearly well-researched out this. He liked the episode. He has fair point to it. I would love to hear from him again, and a lot of you guys, what you guys thought about this episode, and those points that I brought up, whether those character deaths were valid or not. But let's get back into the review now. So we had this pretty important scene between Ivar and Hvitserk, where they were really having another conflict at each other's motivations, their loyalties, and Ivar just does not trust him at all, and Hvitserk is gaining a hate for him. Ivar's kind of almost egging him on here, like, you want to betray me, you regret your decision, when Hvitserk wasn't even thinking about it really that much. He's like, I kind of made the wrong decision maybe, and he's like baiting him out more and more and more, and he's forming that idea in Hvitserk's head that yes, he made a mistake. So boom, we have the seed of an idea, a really awesome way that Hvitserk been going. Then we have that really cool confrontation between Ubbe and Hvitserk. It's not literally how they would have fought or met in the field, but it was quite clearly the like metaphysical way that they've met. Ubbe, even though he said like over and over again, I don't want to kill you, brother, or I'm going to have to kill you in the field, couldn't do it, backs down, walks away. Now, some people think, oh, yay, Ubbe and Hvitserk are going to get back together, but I don't see that happening. Hvitserk is going to make his own path, and it's not going to be with Ivar, and it's not going to be Ubbe. It's probably going to be with Rollo. Now, we do have a nice break in between these two half seasons, so I've got all that time to talk about a lot of really awesome things about this stuff, but I will have a Rollo video that I've talked about previously that will be coming out with. It's going to be talking about Hvitserk and Rollo and their plans and what could be happening there. But really, this episode did do one nice thing of setting off that storyline as long as they follow through with it and don't kill him off randomly. So we have this extremely important plotline with Margaret. She's an interesting character, everyone loves her, she's amazing, absolutely the best character to follow. We're going to break down every second of the scenes we get with her on screen. We just love seeing her on screen. So she picks up a log out of water. She thinks it's a dead body. She's fucking crazy. So the battle was over, and Lagertha's side has to retreat because Rollo's numbers are just too much. Toby comes back and finds Margaret crazy as fuck still, but her children are fine. It's very clear that a lot of the themes and things we were discussing, all the development we've had this entire season pretty much so far, is going to carry on into the next half of the season, and it's probably going to not wrap up until the very end of that half season as well. So I hope that's not too far away, maybe a few months, hopefully. I think it might be the end of this year, that's what I'm guessing at the moment, but I really, if it comes earlier, I'll be super happy. That would be really cool. And you know that I'll be there to make videos and reviews like that, so if you want to be making sure you get that stuff, plus my Rollo video, my full season review, and all the other awesome Viking stuff that will happen between now and that season, make sure you're subscribed and you like the video. Thank you so much for watching this video and tolerating my terrible humor.